Maybe they won't see us. What's up, peoples? Long time no see. What's going on, Brandon? Shrimply? Assad? Mark? Mark, you beat Tim here. Congratulations. Trinity, welcome. Hey, Tim. What's going on? Greg? Started drinking earlier here.
What do these people do that they can just like stop what they're doing and just like, bam, Chris is online. Fuck.
It's almost like they work on phones or something.
Fuck. Shit. Chris.
What's up, Roy?
Shit.
Micah's jealous right now. Sorry.
Fuck.
First. Tim finally made it. He's first. Mark's been trying to beat you in here, Tim. He finally did it. He has attained his goal. What's up, Miles? What's up, Dave? Dave. Even more important. Double Dave. Sometimes your first name's Dave. Sometimes your second name's Dave. Not this time. You son of a bee. Alright, so today we're going to work on everything. But first, let me take a selfie. The first one here was a 6S Plus. Had no cameras, front or rear. Turned out just to be a faulty rear camera. This phone has a pretty serious bend in it. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty warped. I assume it's from being sat on. But it does still work, so that's good. It has iOS 11 on it now, so it does the on-off bullshit when it starts up. You've done 3 iPad mini backlights today. You're done with iPad minis. Those are easy, though. Those are just filters.
All iPads.
I did 8 Tristars yesterday.
He did.
And the day before I did 6 Touch ICs. Alright, so as you can see, camera's working. And if we flip it around, you can take a selfie. Boop, 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 boop. So this one is fixed, ready to go out. Your mom's fixed.
She is.
Good. Good. What's going on, Jay? How to pin out a PS4 HDMI encoder.
Hey there. Hello. What can I do for you?
I see you do phone repairs.
Yep.
From time to time.
So my son has bought 2 LG G5s. Both of them, I guess there's a known power button problem with them.
What's it doing?
It won't, it just shut off on its own and then it won't turn on.
I wouldn't say that's a power button. It's most likely the CPU. You buy them used?
No, he bought the first one, brand new, and then he sent it in to LG, and they wouldn't warranty it because it had a scratch on it.
Uh-huh.
And so then he had 2. Well, then that one went bad. So both of them were brand new.
Okay.
And I keep
Does
telling him he needs
it
to at least go see if somebody could fix it.
Does it loop or does it just shut off?
It just shut off and now it won't come back on.
We can look at it. Where's
I'll have him. I was just, I didn't know you, I was just downtown here. I'll have him bring it down here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can take a look at it.
Yeah, and take a look and see what it's, because I told him, you know, he paid, I think 700 and some each time for them.
Yeah.
So he paid $1,400 and you got 2 phones that don't work. I'm like, so he's got another one now. I'm like, just at least get them fixed and sell them for $200 or $300, you know,
Yeah,
whatever
make
you
some
can.
money back, yeah.
At least get rid of them, you know.
Yeah, we can take a look at them.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, he said that he looked on the internet and there was supposedly a power button problem.
I mean, I can look. I don't. They have the G4 and G5 both have motherboard issues, but it's with the main processor.
Okay.
But we can take a look at it.
All right, I have it written down.
All right.
Sounds good.
No problem. Oh, let's see. Haven't done shit today except pull a cap off 3V NAND on an iPhone 6 for data.
Maybe you get busy.
Have money will pin out a lot of damn pins though. For the encoder, yeah, it's a lot of pins. It's as many pins in as it is out. Shouldn't take too long though. Alright, so this iPhone 6 Plus is stuck on the recovery logo. And when you try to restore it, it gets to the point where it talks to the NAND and it errors out with an error 9 and reboots back into recovery. So most likely this is a NAND problem, but we are going to check the EEPROM also. This very well could be an EEPROM issue. I believe it's NAND. I haven't seen many 6 Pluses with the error 9 stuff that the iPhone 6 does, but you never know. But we will check the EEPROM resistor measurements. The iPhone 5 coil style part number. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I will put it up on the other screen so you all can see it. That's awesome. Good job, DigiKey. Your website sucks. Can't log in. It's just a blank screen. There it goes. Let's see. Can't remember if I bought them on DigiKey or if I bought them on Mouser. It doesn't look like it's on DigiKey. Let me check Mouser. Maybe on Mouser that I bought them. Boop, 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 boop. What's up, Yassine? Alright, let's log in. Order history. Let's see. Those are the diodes. I have to go through here to find them. Those are the LDOs for the cameras. These are it right here. So that's the Mouser part number and manufacturing part number. If you want to type that in or copy it while I take this phone apart all the way. No problem. If there's anything else you can think of, I can go down the list. Let's see. part here. Oh, these are the 6S backlight filters. That's the backlight filter part number. It is always the coil. That's true. It has been the coil quite a bit. Actually, Lauren sent me a iPhone 6 Plus that had no backlight, and he had been messing with it and had kind of been stumped on it. And the coils on it didn't look bad. They had been replaced, but evidently they had gotten damaged, I guess, when they pulled them. And I went ahead and replaced the coils again, and I got backlight to return. One of the ICs was bad. I had to replace it, but I had half backlight after I replaced the coils. I've had several iPhone 6 and a 6S that the coil looked fine, but it was bad. So the coil tends to be quite often a problem. Let me link some other ones here. These are the diodes that I use. That's the iPhone 6, 6S, 7, pretty much any of them. That's the diode that they use. And as you can see, they're cheap. Let me see what I paid for these. I probably paid, so I paid 29 cents a piece. The filters I paid 6 cents a piece. So I mean, if you buy this stuff in larger quantities, you'll save yourself some money. Looks like this ground plane came up with the end there. No big deal. Alright, so we're going to switch back over. Well, the thing is with the Chinese market, if you're buying specific chips, Mouser and DigiKey and everybody else, they're not going to carry those. Those items are always going to be more expensive because they're specific for each phone. The problem is the chips are they're harder to find now. So when you go to your Chinese resellers and ask them to find you those items, they are harder to find now, so the price goes up. Supply and demand. Alright, so I'm going to shift over to ZXW real quick. And we're going to check our resistors here. EEPROM clock, EEPROM data, that's capacitor. So we want to meter the inside here in diode. Let's switch it over to diode reading and see what our diode reading to ground is. Should be about 0.4 something. 0.43. Let me recheck that one. Okay, so this one isn't reading exactly right. It's actually reading low. Okay, never mind. I was touching the cap next to it. So these are, that's 0.435, and this one's reading 0.434. So it's not an EEPROM issue. Those are correct measurements. So this is most likely going to be a NAND problem. This is a 64 gig SanDisk, as you can see there. There's the size right there, 64 gig. We're going to put a 16 gig on it. No, not really. We shouldn't have to replace this chip at all. Being an iPhone 6 Plus, the Navi Plus gives us an option to erase the bad partitions and rewrite them. Unlike with the 6S series, you can't do that. You have to, they don't have any way to wipe that information, so you actually have to swap it with a NAND that doesn't have any issues. Alright, so we're going to cut the underfill around these, and then we're going to lift that chip off. So I'll go ahead and turn on my heat. I'm actually going to do a review video later today about these underfill picks and the tools used to lift them. They're very helpful. Something that I think everybody should have. Well, Jay, for caps and stuff, buy them from Mauser. It's far cheaper. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the filter off of this barometric pressure, whatever the fuck it is, so it doesn't get completely trashed with heat. Now I'm going to just heat this up, and then with this pick tool you can just run it through the underfill, and it's thin enough but it's still heavy enough, like it has enough rigidity that it won't flex, and you can pull right through that underfill. So now I'm going to go back through. I'll make sure that it's cut all the way down, that way when we lift the NAND it doesn't pull any caps with us. So there you go. I can run that all the way through now, and it doesn't catch on any of the underfill. Same with this side. The thicker underfill, you kind of want to poke into it and then push back and forth through it. So that side's clear. This side has some on it. I'm just going to clean that up real quick. Alright, now it's ready to be lifted. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of soak everything in flux around here. That way when the NAND starts to lift, that flux can run under it. And let's start to heat this up.
The G4.
Yeah, we're working on it right now.
Chris is working on it right now. Yes, sir. We should be able to, yeah. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. Alright, bye.
Mikey, you need to work on G4 right now.
Oh, God. Bless Chris.
Just take it apart for me real quick. They're easy to work on anyway.
What?
They're easy to work on anyway.
I'm going to show you easy to work on.
Alright, so now we can see solder balls are starting to push out from under here, which means that the solder under the NAND is melting. So I'm going to slide my tool in. It should go in fairly easily. And I'm going to let it sit right about here. And I'm just going to apply just a little upward pressure while heating this area. And it pops up. If you do that too soon, you'll lift pads. You need to make sure that the solder is liquid. And once it's liquid, it helps because you're not going to be scraping under this chip. Sometimes when these pop up, they'll come up completely clean. On this one, we've got a few spots where I kind of dug in with the tool, and one spot where it pulled up some of the coating, but that's not a big deal. We can cover those. If you're sitting there like digging into it, you're going to damage it. And stuff like that. So you want to, my method that I found the easiest is get in under it make sure that the solder is liquid enough that you can slide in, and then just apply just a little bit of torque to the side to lift the chip, and keep heating it, and it'll pop up once it heats enough. So we'll set our NAND off to the side here. I want to clean this area first, so I'm going to add some flux, and I'm going to get my iron and my wick. Yes, those picks are they come in a set. It comes with the cleaning pick, and it comes with the tool to lift the NANDs. Oh, that's good. It's working now, isn't it?
Yep, they're all working. They're all working perfect here, Chris. Yep, still working on it.
Alright, so get these pads cleaned up. And the reason I do this is when I come back in to clean the area, I don't want to snag on any solder. I want this to go smoothly across and pick up this underfill off the board. So I want to get these pads as clean as I can get them, flat against the board. Alright, and now we're going to use the other tool, which is the underfill cleaning pick. Kind of hard to see. You can see it there. It's not very sharp. It's got a nice beveled edge, and it allows you to slide through the underfill here. So as I heat this, you can see I can cut through that underfill. I'm not putting a lot of downward pressure on it. I'm just putting enough pressure just to scrape it up. Okay, it's almost clean. Alright, there we go. Actually, we got a little bit right here. Alright, that should be fairly cleaned up. I think we knocked one cap up here. Go ahead and put that back in place. Alright. Now let's clean this up. And we'll put down some conformal coating to cover up the areas that were uncovered whenever we lifted that NAND and cleaned up the area. So there we go. It doesn't have to be spotless. You're going to see some residue there. I can sit there and cut that down, but the thing is, the solder's got some height to it whenever you reball these. So the main thing here is, like, this area is a little tall, so I don't like that. I'm going to just kind of knock that down a little bit. Okay. The area's a little high there. Alright, the rest of that looks pretty good. Clean it up again. Now let's do our conformal coating. The main thing here is you don't want bridging. That's your biggest enemy in all of this. Bridging will cause nightmares whenever you go to put these back on. So what I like to do is go in and try to make it the factory layout as close as I can make it. If you get some on your actual pads, not a big deal, you can clean that up later. The main thing here is cleaning up areas where you don't want solder.
am I doing this to you for?
Take it apart, pull the board on it, so I'm gonna try just reflowing the CPU on it. Well, getting it hot enough, not really reflowing it. So see if we can pull the data that way. If not, well, I'll pull the fucking EMC off of it.
Pull your EMC.
And then I'll listen to my retard assistant say dumb shit the entire time.
Well, dumb shit you, Chris.
Do you get your funny iPad that makes Melvin broke the FVC hold down the clip? What?
What? What?
That Melvin broke the FVC hold down clip off of. Yeah, I think we got it in. We got so many fucking iPads from you, I hate them.
Anthony?
Yeah. Like 8 million iPads. Evidently, Anthony doesn't fix iPhones anymore. It's all iPads.
It's all iPads. It's like, hey, look at these iPads. I don't even repair iPads. I'm just going to send them to Chris. And then Chris is just gonna send
Jay,
them
I don't know if it's a 14-piece set or not. The ones I bought only come with 2. I do have some of the bigger ones too. Like the ones that come with all the... Wherever they are. Here they are. All the inserts and stuff. I hardly use any of these though. Most of them are parts and shit. Alright. Let's see if that was enough time for that to cure. Yep, there we go. So now where I've got it overlaid over some of these pads, just come in with your razor blade, and if you cut down through it, it kind of almost cuts itself out for you. Like, you don't have to do much. Just be right on the edge of the pad, and it kind of breaks off and cleans up in a easy, helpful way. I think it's because the depth of the pad is slightly lower than where the epoxy is, so it tends to break off in the same pattern as the drop off is. Alright, got one more here. Alright, so everybody looks good there. If you have any high spots, sometimes you can sit here and just scrape these down. I don't think anything is going to be too high here, but like I said, if you think it is too high, just take your razor blade, lay it flat against it, and just kind of scrape it. You can flatten it down some. That looks pretty good, so let's move on to the NAND itself. These board holders that I recommended before are great because down here at the bottom you have a nice little cutout to help hold and work on your NAND. So put some flux down here, and we're going to flood this with leaded and pop it into our reader. Tip's got some oxidation buildup inside of it, so I need to clean that out. The Moto phone. Fuck Moto phones. Okay, we've got some exposed traces here on the chip too. We'll have to come in, once we read this, I'm going to come in and cover those up. That way we can't get any unnecessary bridging. That's the main thing, I think, when you put NANDs back on, is just avoid bridges and have a consistent reball.
Hey there. How you Pretty good. Can I help you?
Hoping you can.
All right.
So, having some issues with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Started about a week ago, where wouldn't take a charge. And then it did. And it charged all week long. Okay. And then today, it just went black on me. And wouldn't take a charge.
Wouldn't take a
do
charge or anything. Let me take a look at it. Has it gotten wet or anything?
Not that no.
Okay.
It was dropped about 2 weeks ago. It had a bad drop in. I mean, it hit a wooden floor.
Let me open it up and test some stuff on it.
What's it doing?
It's notes and then it's charging it. I tested for Tristar 2. Tristar seems fine.
What's the battery cycles?
Don't know the battery cycles on it. I unplugged it, plugged it in, kind of watched the percentage, see if it jumped around, but it didn't jump around or anything like that. The charge port didn't look clogged or anything either.
That's it.
There you go. He's gonna check the battery on it real quick, and that's probably about the length.
Do you know the passcode?
Excuse me?
Do you know the passcode?
335811.
Hey there, can I help you? iPhone 6s, it'd be 110.
110?
Uh-huh. You wanna get it done? If I can. Alright, cool. If I can.
What color?
White.
Okay, we got one.
We got one more? Okay.
It's right here.
Right. Thank you.
Till tomorrow at least.
You already know this one's from LCD,
Hmm?
You already know this one's from LCD?
Mm-hmm. The battery, it shows it's down 12% from original capacity, but that's not that bad.
So is your name Chris?
Yes.
So Chris, I had it over at Digital Doc,
Mm-hmm.
and what they told me was that it's a chip that controls the battery.
They're talking about Tristar, which Micah said he just tested and it tested fine. I'll check it again, but I mean, it could be. Maybe it's just sporadically not working, but usually when they go out, they go out. It's not like a sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't situation. They've also told people that, and it's been bad batteries, so I don't normally trust what they have to say sometimes.
Well, that's why I came to you guys.
We had one that had over 1,000 charge cycles, and it had like 10% original battery life left, and they told them it was the same thing, and it was just the battery was bad. I'll check it again and make sure. They give you a quote on it?
They told me they had to keep it for days or weeks.
Yeah, because they don't have a guy on in-house that does it. They have a guy that supposedly comes down and does them. I've never met him or anything, but I've seen some of the previous work. It's scary sometimes. Let's see. Yeah, Tristar's working. So the way we test Tristar, which is the chip they're talking about, when you unplug the battery from the phone and we plug in the charger, it'll start to pull amperage here, and it'll boot the phone. But since there's no battery, it'll loop. It'll turn the phone off and back on. So since there's no battery, it'll probably turn it off. Now, if we wait a second, this will go back up, and it'll try to boot the phone again. Let's see. Maybe iOS 11 is different. Usually, it'll try to boot it again. See, it's just shutting it right back off as soon as it sees no battery. Was there anything in the charge port at all?
No, there wasn't nothing.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Here's what I would suggest. See how it acts. See if it does it again. If it does, I'd like to test it some more. It's really not acting like that, but the new iOS update may have changed something, I'm not sure, but the battery seems okay. It's not in great shape, but it's not in poor shape either.
So if you had to replace that, what would...
It's $80 to replace it. What was the battery percentage at, Micah?
83.
Yeah, so the amperage looks right then too for the battery charge. Yeah, I mean it's charging right now.
Yeah, it's, like I said, about a week ago on a Sunday night, it wouldn't, I plug it in and nothing happened.
You checked several cables?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then I just, I got frustrated with it. I left it plugged in, walked away for an hour, came back, and it was, all of a sudden it was charged.
Yeah.
And then all this, for about a week, no issues. And then this morning, got up, phone was charged, went to work. About noon today, I was using the calculator, put it down, picked it back up to use the calculator again, it was dead. Wouldn't take a charge
either?
Tried, several different cords. Plugged the cord into somebody else's phone that was working.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the cord.
Well, the way I normally work is I don't like to do things if I don't feel that that's the cause at the time. So I'm really hesitant to suggest that replacement and that not be it. I would like to. I don't want to inconvenience you by making you run back and forth, but at the same time, I'd really like to make sure that is the issue.
Yeah.
My best suggestion would be use it. If it does it again, don't plug it in. Just bring it straight to me. That way, I can see what symptoms it's giving you, and then I can try to diagnose it from there.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There, sir.
What kind of what hours do you guys usually have?
We're here Monday through Friday, 10 to 7.
Alright, well, let's hope nothing happens on a Saturday or something.
Well, if you need to get a hold of me Saturday, just if you have our business card, give me a call and I'll work something out with you.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No problem. How you doing, sir? Can I help you? Oh, is he working on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's actually my business phone.
Okay.
I'm waiting for
Yeah. Alright, so.
So.
EEPROM? Yep. Check the EEPROM. It's not EEPROM. Alright. Time to reball. Reball, Micah, reball. Very nice, Micah. I think you've grown you've grown allergic to your own bullshit. It's not EEPROM. EEPROM is 0.43 on both lines. That's the first thing I checked. My name's American, not sit in the back and make noises. What? You just say party on Tuesdays occasionally? I like to go out with friends on weird nights of the week. Alright. Oh, EEPROM. Okay. Navi Plus, you've done your job. Go back to your waiting hole. Doob 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 dub doob dub. Dub doob dub doob dub dub.
You're embarrassing yourself.
You are. Yeah, LCD one's pretty good. Refurbed OEM panels. Alright. Time for the ballings. Micah. Buffering, yeah, we dropped about 488 frames. Is it good now? Should be good now. Shooba doob 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 doob. Bubblubs. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Ice cold milk. And a real cool jug. That's a man that loves milk from a brown cow. Chocolate milk comes from brown cows. .60s. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. $2012. Still good.
2012.
Yeah, they put expiration date on the solder balls. Like lead goes bad over time, evidently. I've never had a problem with these. So your lead has gone bad.
Your lead has gone bad.
Yes.
Lead's gone sour.
You have faulty lead, sir.
Battery's still on this thing. I'll have to charge it.
Deader than a nail of doors.
Better than dead. Battery on this thing's completely dead, so I'm just gonna let it charge up so I can test it out real quick and everything, okay? Not a problem, man.
Just don't eat them after that date.
It's okay to eat after the date.
Mike has tried a few. He said they still tasted fine.
It tastes pretty delicious.
These lead balls are delicious.
Who likes lead balls?
Micah's
Just love lead balls.
Micah's mom likes lead balls. Alrighty. Got a solder on there. Sticky balls. Alright, let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Screen. Alright, let's see if she goes into recovery mode. Yep. Recovery mode. Let's open up iTunes. Is that thing still not charged?
Not all the way, no.
I mean all the way.
No, it hasn't came on yet.
Oh.
I'm waiting for it to come on, so I'm just camera everything. That's what we do.
Just plug in the DC power supply and check it.
Okay.
With the smaller solder ball size, you can press on it and not cause shorts. Lewis is doing a Q&A. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Lewis, for doing your Q&A.
Sure.
He's murdering hot air stations. Yeah, pretty much. There it goes. Same problem persists.
Because of your paperwork.
Yeah, it's my cousin's phone. It was in football practice.
Do you not have the passcode? Okay. Well, oh, then I can't test it anyway. Okay. All right. Everything should be good. If there's any issues, you can just bring it back, or you can bring it back and we'll resolve it. But it should be good.
Alright, let's see. Why you fail? This could be a faulty NAND if it fails. Check the file system. That's what it seems like. NAND itself may be bad. Yep. It fails at checking file system. So the NAND itself is probably faulty. Let's see. Found a 128 gig or 64 gig NAND.
Kind of move the tray. Total's going to be $113.90 after tax.
The card number and stuff like that. It
Okay.
says mom's card.
Okay, that's cool.
Same thing.
Do you know if it's a Visa or? I guess it doesn't matter. Get you to sign that for me. I got your receipt here real quick. There you go.
Appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. You have a good day. Hey there. You got something to pick up? How much do you owe, Chris?
I think it's 55.
5?
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Sign anything or we good?
Should be good, yep.
Okay. Of course, I got another one. We'll bring it probably tomorrow.
Okay.
No power on it all. 6
Okay.
plus.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
What's his last name? No, I think I got it here. What did you repair actually for him?
FPC replacement and fixed a connector. Just put it in all as one.
This one's going to
Alright, time to grab a board here.
I'll put this repair. That'll be fine. Chris,
You can call it butt plug if you want to.
fine, I will. Misc repairs, and it's going to be on your taxes.
Micah's butt plug.
And butt plug.
Micah's large butt cover.
There we go. Receive payments for misc repairs and a butt plug.
What's up, Nate? I talked to Jess. She didn't. I don't even think she replied to that question, honestly. I have to check and see.
Just don't reply to my question.
There's a 128 gig NAND. They might get an upgrade if we can't find a 64 gig.
Damn.
I don't know what these are. I think those are all 16 gigs. There's another 16 gig. I can't tell on the other ones. I can only tell on one model what size they are. The Skynex ones, I don't. If somebody has a lookup on how to tell the NAND size for the Skynex, shoot that over here if you don't mind?
What is it?
This Skynix names. I got a bunch of them, but can't tell what size they are, so it doesn't do me much good. The letters. Some of them have a size written on them. Some of them I don't know how you tell. Let me see if there's a way to tell. Let's see if I can tell any difference in the lettering here. These all have the same lettering, looks like. Now that one says 1 CMS. Well, the rest of these say 1 BMS. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. BMS. 16 gig. I'm not sure, to be honest. Bobby? That's a Toshiba. Did everyone bail to watch Lewis? I don't know. Maybe. Let's type this in. H2J TDG 8UD 1 CMS. It comes up with nothing. Can I show the microscope? H2J is 16 gig. So any of them that say H2J, because all these are H2J. Yeah, all these are H2J. H2JT, because I have some that are H2JT, I have some that are, let's see, JT, 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 all these are JT anyway. GHB is 64 or higher. Alright. Let's look at this Toshiba one here.
one cool thing.
See, this one here says that the H2J TG G8 UD1 CMS is 128 gigabyte. Let's try the one BMS. BMS says it's 120 gigabyte. See, that doesn't make any sense. $16 gigabyte, they're saying it's this number. UFS, that's EMC. Maybe TLC? I don't know. What have you missed? You've missed failure so far. Looks like I'm gonna have to put a 128 gig NAND on this thing unless it's Toshiba. It happens to be 64 gig. So let's look up this Toshiba. $16 gig. Well, looks like they're getting the NAND upgrade, I guess. Let me go ahead and pull this 128 gig NAND off. Alright, so let's clean up around the NAND as we normally do. Alright. Now since we have a little more space on this one, I'm just going to come in from the end of this NAND. Okay, got our NAND off. Relative ease. THG, okay. Alright, let's put our NAND down in the holder here. Go ahead and clean it up. You say you have that G4 part?
Yeah.
Let me see it.
There you go.
it up. Should be good enough to read on the Navi. Switch the camera back for you all. I don't know what he did, but it stopped the buzzing. I don't know. Would an iPad NAND work? Yeah, it would. The only problem with the iPads is I don't think any of the older iPads, that if they had anything over 32 gigs, it was 2 NANDs. It wasn't a single. I switched it back. Have to reball this one. Doesn't like the pad formation currently on this chip. Thank you, Nate.
For the shipping cost, you didn't bill. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, I wish I had Ashley working here more because it's hard to work and keep track of billing and shit. I always rely on her to do it. Alright, let's see. What's up, Handy? Handy parts in the house. Alright, now it's working. Let's go ahead and read it. Should I try doing a full dilation on the memory? What do y'all think? Try it? Don't try it? Just go ahead and put the other NAND on? What? Do both of them? Just have one ready for the other? I might do that actually. Let's do the dilation.
Your mom's dilating.
Yeah? Did you get her there? Anthony, I could do it at a discount. I know the customer's gonna be like, hey, if I can send it to him. For you, just message me. I'll give you a price. I don't want to say it on here.
Yeah, you don't want to say it on there.
I'll give you a hefty discount on it though. Just gotta give me an angry hand, Jay, evidently. That's what Micah said. I don't know if he's talking for me or for himself, but old NAND looks ugly, just replace it. I don't like giving away my 128 gig NANDs though. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Alright, so that chip is written to, that's the old one. Let's put our new one in. $130 gigs total space. We'll go ahead and write the information to it. Anything says he's gonna send you more MREs.
I already ate that one. I'm not gonna eat that one. I'm not gonna eat it. Nasty shit. Why does he have those? Where the hell did he get those?
I don't know. You have to ask him. I'm not his father. I'm not as pappy. I'm a dapper damn man.
Oh, fuck, God damn it. Dapper damn man.
Good fucking movie. Alright, let's clean this NAND up and get it reballed. Amazon sells them. Amazon's in the preppers. Getting ready for the preppers.
MREs?
Yeah.
Is he prepping for doomsday?
Are you prepping for doomsday? Prepping for the day of the dooms?
Nuclear fallout and shit?
It might actually be possible. With Trump in power. We might get in an old slap fight with North Korea.
It'd be a little tap from them and a big slap from us.
We can only hope, I guess. See you, Bobby.
Alright, let's back together. I can go through some fucking
Where'd you throw that G4 thing? Here it is.
What?
Let's heat it. You need to work on this. I'm about to heat this up and
I'm
then
gonna heat it up and then what am I gonna do?
put it back in the frame. See if it boots. If it does, we need to make a copy of everything on it.
I'm making a copy of it with what?
I'll plug it in over here.
Okay. Alright, Chris, sounds like a plan. I'll keep myself available for you.
All right. Be ready, because I'm gonna heat this thing and then it's coming to you. So we'll boot. You place Tristar and Tigris, it'll prompt to boot but won't charge. Does it show a charging icon or no? And also, have you put a new charging port on it? If it gets to the Apple logo, it means, or the Apple, the AT&T. If it gets to the AT&T logo, it's gonna boot. Alright. let's put this. Muhammad, thanks for watching. Alright.
Here we go.
No charging icon. Check the Tristar PIN line. Make sure it's working. Do we have a passcode for this one?
No.
Never mind, didn't need one. Alright, let's make a backup of this real quick. Back up to PC. Connecting. Where's settings on this thing? Settings, general, developer options. USB debug on. Allow. Do I have another fucking USB cable? Do I have another USB cable?
Here we go.
I got my unit directly from China, Michael. Why the fuck does it keep disconnecting when I try to fucking connect this phone? Do I need LG drivers or something? Oh my god, I've already done that, you piece of shit software. Just fucking read the phone. Let's change the mode. There we go. Maybe that'll fix it.
What was it?
I clicked install PC drivers,
Oh.
which is under a hidden section. Hey, it finally did it, I think. Did it work? Hey, Paul. Tristar PIN. Pin. Hey, it finally worked. Fuck yeah. Alright, it's connected. We're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna start copy. Contacts, back him up. Sweet. That was annoying. What's up, Amy? It's backing up everything now.
Good.
Text messages, contact? No. Nappy head now. It's B. MIA bone trees. Alright, let's reball our 128 gig NAND free upgrade. These NANDs for the older ones are actually fairly cheap. I need to order some. It's the newer NANDs that are incredibly expensive. Like a 128 gig NAND or 256 NAND for the iPhone 6s or 7s, the new PCI NANDs. They are like $80 to $100 for some of them. The smaller ones are cheap, but the bigger ones are expensive. It's ridiculous. It's because there's such a shortage of the memory because Apple keeps buying it all up. Alright, let's turn our airspeed down, turn our temperature down. Let's do some reflow in here. Okay, those are done. Now time for our 45s. Okay. Let's see if that's enough. It should be fairly close. Larry has a video doing this and he just rubs his finger and like all the spots are filled in.
What?
Yeah. He can put most of them in place without doing this. He's got the magic hands. I love when these things won't come off your tweezers, but then as soon as you move them to where you don't want it to be, it'll come off the tweezers. Always cracks me up. It's like they know how to piss you off.
Hey there.
I just wanted to check in on you.
It's ready.
We dropped off the set.
It's ready.
Okay.
It's the one you did.
Okay.
Well, you can't see nothing. So what are you doing there, if you don't mind me asking?
It's an iPhone memory chip. I'm having to replace one because it's bad.
Is the other one here done too? The 6?
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
I'll work on it next, most likely.
Oh.
Since this one's got a card.
We're taking it back to AT&T and have them do what they did last night.
Oh, really? Okay. As well. Does it matter?
Let me put them in here so they don't have a chance to jump.
Have you guys been here before?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Somebody else mentioned today.
It's gonna be 6150.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Paul.
But do I have to do extra? Set post
But it's for everything else.
$38.50 is your change there. Get your receipt real quick. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys have a great one.
You too. Just waiting for the chip to fall. Starting to get ready. Should be really close now. There it goes.
Here she blows.
I like how that one's sitting much more than I did the other one. The other one just didn't seem to want to sit right. It was on there, but it didn't seem good. But that one sat down really well. I'm gonna go ahead and replace this back sticker too once we get done. It's a little gross now after all that. Let's go ahead and clean this up some. Get rid of any excess flux. Alrighty, let's see if our second NAND is more successful than our first. And we'll put our new back sticker on after we get done with the restore and clean it up, put it all back together, and ship it off. Okay. Got all my cables plugged in so I can at least manipulate the iPhone as we go. If this fails again, I'm most likely going to attribute this to something to do with CPU. It wouldn't make any sense for like Tristar or something, because Tristar will communicate with the computer fine. It just seems to fail whenever it tries to do a restore. When it checks the actual NAND, the memory layout. Alright, so we're going to put 3U tools up on the screen as we did before. Ugh, almost died. Alright, let's see what it does now. Ugh. Again, Paul, thank you for the donation. As always, it's really appreciative. You get 4.89? Okay, that's correct, Nate. Okay, it didn't enter back into recovery. Why ain't no enter recovery? Error 51? I have no idea what that is. Let's retry this. Maybe I didn't get it soldered down well enough. No, it's working now. Okay, got an Apple logo. This looks like an aftermarket screen. It's got a lot of, you can see a lot of shadowing there. Oh, it's hanging again at checking file system. Let's see if we get the same error or not. I have a feeling we're going to. The fact that it's hanging at the same spot. Yep. So this isn't a NAND problem. This seems to be a CPU problem. The phone is now stuck in just a weird state again. I'll check the EEPROM again just to make sure, but usually with EEPROM it'll get to the verification portion and fail, and we're getting past the verification portion. So I do not think it's EEPROM. I'll go ahead and pull this NAND back off. Does 3U work for droids? No. There are programs similar out there if you're looking for one. Alright, let me check the EEPROM lines again just to make sure. They metered okay earlier, so I don't suspect anything has changed, but we'll check. Oh, something has changed. So before I was getting .435 on this one. Now this one's up to .69. So this is an EEPROM issue. Let me see if the 6S or the 6 Plus is the same as the 6 as far as Error 9 goes on the CPU. The error log. Let's look. I tried to restore it through iTunes a couple of times, so it should be there. Logs. Select mobile devices. No, not there. iPhone update logs from today at 4:45. Let me see. It says here, I'll put it on screen so you can read it. This is the error log from the Error 9. Using protocol 15, unable to open device map.txt, no such file or directory. Board configuration, no value returned for boot args, copy device property, failed to restore boot args, no marketing part number, hardware mode returns, request behavior erase. It says AM restore, perform restore mode, restore with error, failed with error 9. Saying that was removed, but it wasn't. The phone was never unhooked. It's just automatically search for EEPROM. No. Cannot find EEPROM. EEPROM equals yes. So the EEPROM is being recognized, but based on the resistance here, it shouldn't be. I'll check it again. Yeah, it's reading 0.69, which is not correct. The other one's reading 0.43, which is correct. Let me try refilling the EEPROM itself. Refill the EEPROM. WorldTech, if it wasn't a connection between the CPU and that resistor, which is the only place it goes, why am I getting a diode reading that matches the disconnect between those two? Let me, I'll try restoring again with the iTunes and see if we get a different error. Alright, you can call that lady on the G4 and tell her it's done.
Alright. Wrong man.
What's up, Lisa? Alright, let's recheck our diode reading on this EEPROM. Still 0.6, still 0.43. This is really leading me towards a connection issue here. Let's do an iTunes restore again on this board to see what the error log says, so I can confirm that if it's still seeing the EEPROM or not. If If not, I'm gonna have to grab another board and scrape down into the CPU and see. I'm gonna leave the home button just disconnected. Okay. We'll open up iTunes. Try clamp the CPU and restore. I'd rather, I mean, yeah, it's a way to test it, but I want to see what this does real quick. I want to see if we get a change in that EEPROM status. Let me see which one, if that's the data line or the clock line that has the issue. That's the clock line that has the problem. I believe it's in the same location as the 6 Plus. Yeah, it is. It's right there. Or as the 6, excuse me. You could almost sneak that on the corner of the CPU if you get in close enough. Nate, as far as the one not seeing the charge, there's a few things that can cause it. Could be charge port, could be the connector that is on the board for the charge port, could be the battery SWI line isn't reading correctly. Could be bad Tristar still. There's quite a few things that can cause that. Could be a bad Tigris boot cap. I would focus on Tristar charge port and charge port connector, honestly. Alright, let's see what happens. Verifying iPhone restore with Apple. Oh, it actually started the restore process this time. Preparing iPhone for restore. We actually have a small white bar this time. Oh, still shut off. Error 9. Alright, so let's check the log now. It did do something different than it did last time. Before we didn't even get the bar.
I'll give you a ha 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 ha.
No, you won't.
Rosman Group is playing in real life.
Yeah, it still says EEPROM yes.
Shit.
So I don't believe it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a board and dig into it and see. Because I don't believe that it is seeing the EEPROM properly. Just based on the diode. I'll see if I can clamp it here. See if that will allow it to restore.
Hey, this is Mike at BGA. I was calling about a G4 that was dropped off here. Okay, I was calling to let you know that we got it on long enough to get it backed up and all the data backed up. Yes, sir. Okay, tomorrow? Or, okay, alright. Alright, sounds good. Not a problem, sir. Bye.
All NAND voltage is okay. I
So
would
if
assume
he's
so.
off work at 3:30, he'll be over here.
Where's one of our clamps that we used to use?
Chris, I'll give you your nipple clamps later on.
I want my nipple clamps now.
How many? Just one?
Yeah.
Don't get yourself too excited there, Chris.
Too late. I'm already there, my guy. Alright, let's see what happens. We're going to clamp the CPU here. iTunes has detected an iPhone in recovery mode. Well, good. We like that. Let's try an update. £5 mini sledge. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Hey, you gonna put the G4 back together? Also, you can call this guy, see if he wants to pick his phone up. I doubt he will, but that's that one that had the searching no service. It's fixed too. Later, Jay. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, shut up.
What's up, Christopher? Not much, just hanging out with this shitty iPhone. I don't know if this clamp will apply enough pressure or not. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Nope. Same thing. The nipple clamp did nothing. Nay to the nipple clamp. Alright, let me grab a 6 plus board. We're going to dig into one and see what's going on. What's going on? See you, Paul. Thanks for joining us. Got your first microscope. Any tips? Practice, 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 practice. Lots of practice. Get used to working under it. Get used to like how your hands feel and stuff like when you're working under a scope. Let's measure this one here. This is a parts iPhone. Let's see. Let's see what reading we get on this one. So I got 0.42, 0.42. So this one's giving me a good reading. Now let's see what the 1v8 reads out to be. 0.29. That's exactly what the other one is. So clamp NAND and restore. I really don't think it's NAND related. This doesn't seem like a NAND problem. It really seems like an EEPROM issue. Based on what I've seen before with EEPROM, this 100% seems like EEPROM. The readings are exactly the same on the ones I've had problems with. This one reads 0.42 or whatever it was. Let me see. On the clock line, it reads 0.42. On the clock line on this one, it reads 0.69. So that's obviously a disconnect in the line there. So let's grab our test CPU here, and we're going to do some cutting. And we're going to find those connections on the CPU, like we do with the 6s. So about midway and about here. Maybe a little wider. Let me switch you all over, you can even see what I'm doing. All right. So I'm just here scraping the edge of the SD RAM here. The corners of the SD RAM are all ground, so as long as you don't get over too far, you don't have to worry about hitting anything vital. See if we can use our iron to eat through this. A little heat helps speed it up there. Yep, still on the NAND one. Fairly confident it's a EEPROM problem based on the readings. I checked them before and they were correct, but they're not correct now. Maybe that was caused by when we were doing the NAND, maybe, I'm not sure. But we gotta, it's our tester board, we're gonna see where these connections are. This is the top of the SD RAM right here. If we meter this right here, this is all ground plane. All those points are ground, the copper points. We're now starting to see these solder balls under the NAND, or under the SD RAM, excuse me. Hands cramped up. Oh, that's good to know, WorldTech. I'm gonna get back in the swing of this anyway, though. Just make sure I can properly.
How much is it going to be on this one?
125.
Okay.
Make sure I can properly cut this before I go do it on the real one. Alright, this section we can cut through with the iron fairly quickly.
Hey, this is Mike at BNC. I was calling about an iPhone 6 that was dropped off. Still there? Hello?
Let's hang up, call back. I've noticed it does that in here a lot. Okay. Practice does make perfect. Also makes your hand hurt.
Hey, can you hear me? Okay, anyway, this is Mike from BNC. I was calling about an iPhone 6 that was dropped off here. Alright, just letting you know that it's ready to be picked up. It's going to be $125. We're open from 10 to 7. Yep. Not a problem, man. Bye. We'll be here tomorrow.
Alrighty. So let's check all this, make sure this is the ground, that we haven't gone too high. Okay, so this is all ground in that corner still. So now to get down to the nitty-gritty, this is where you have to take some time, because once you get through this top ground layer, you can cut through the next layer below it quickly if you're not careful. And that next layer down is the one that we are concerned with. Okay, let's see, this should be the layer that we want to be at. Digging for gold, yeah. Yeah, there's the layer that I need to see. gone too far actually. No, I think that's it there. Let's see. It's the thing, once you get through that ground layer, it's a quick transition from that ground layer to the layer you need to be at usually, so. Yeah, there it is. Pretty sure. Clean it out a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, that looks like it right there. Let me dig a little more here. Let's see, did we go too far on this one? I think we did. I think I'm down 2 layers lower than I need to be. Well, I don't know. That looks like the pad's right there. It's hard to tell on this. Seems like it's too low. Not seeing the normal trace outlines that I'm used to, so I'm gonna say I went too far, is my guess. Let's see. Do we go too far? Yeah, so that's the bottom layer right there. That's the pad. So it would have been about 2 layers up. Alright, so I kind of know where I need to slow down at. Just a few more scrapes. I need to change out my razor blade. Need to make sure you have a sharp blade for that shit. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, the first one I think we messed up. Second one we got it. It's just really odd. That's why having that CNC that they normally use is nice, because it gets them down there close to where they need to be. You don't have to sit there and guess.
Too, Micah? What'd y'all get?
Chris had a salad, I think.
Yeah.
I had a chicken burger.
The chicken burger.
Chicken burger.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while. Chicken burger. I like that cake and chicken sandwich. I think it's good. Covered in like ranch. Okay.
What you got now?
Fun stuff. Searching. Chris, you say you can fix it. Tell me let me down.
Already done one today.
Searching?
Yep.
And I got some beautiful gray lines for you.
We love gray lines.
And then I got
It's actually the new motto.
Huh?
That's our new motto. We love gray
I
lines.
love gray lines.
Ah. And then I got like, this is my junk. You put this in the throwaway end of the
So what's up with them?
This one, I like Chris.
Can you snot it all over me?
Remember that, the one I tore the SIM card tray, all the shit?
Mm-hmm.
I bought that, he brought that phone back, I bought it back off. And I got that white parts from for 5C just like it.
Did you bring me a phone, iPhone 6 that had no backlight and the guy didn't want to pay for it?
No,
Oh, that was you.
that would definitely pay for it.
No, that there was a
No,
guy that
no.
didn't want to pay for it, like after I did the work.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. I would pay for it if the customer didn't want it.
Okay, maybe it was Bite Force then.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Could have been Frank. Was it Frank?
How much is it?
Maybe it was Frank.
$50?
No, it was 100, but we had one that a guy brought in. And we fixed it. And then he said he didn't want to pay for it. Well, then he brought it to us. And he told Micah that we had replaced the screen on it and the backlight wasn't working.
I took it apart and I seen that. Filter.
We took it apart and the filter was gone because I had removed it because they didn't want to pay for the repair.
Uh-huh.
So instead of undoing all my work, I just removed the filter.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this didn't just fail. I was like, I did the work on this already. I was like, he didn't want to pay for it.
Was it the customer bring it back or the repair shop?
The customer
No, the
brought it here,
customer.
but the repair shop had brought it here before. And he didn't want to pay for it then. And he just kept trying to haggle with us on the price. We were like, nope.
No.
And I'm pretty sure he got charged more than what he would have paid before.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then as soon as he got it, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
He said what?
He had a password on it. He said he didn't know it.
He didn't know.
Yeah. Made you do the work twice. Nah, I'll just pay for it out of pocket if the customer says they don't want it. Or make them feel really shitty for it.
Yeah.
This lady, like, I broke her phone or something. I don't know what I did. I have no idea how I got the little circle with the line going through it. She doesn't get any service. All I did was change the charger for it. Changed it twice. Well, I soldered the first one in. Worked fine and everything. She leaves. Calls me back the next day for work. I'm like, I don't have service. I haven't had service since I left. So I just ordered the charger for it. Like a 10 assembly or whatever. It's like $3. Put it in. Well, get this. The first time she brought it in, they tried to like check. It was an old lady and her like 8-year-old husband tried to check it themselves. They pulled off the little antenna cover on the back of the bottom, ripped the antenna wire. So I don't even know.
Is it an iPhone?
No, it was this Samsung Mega.
Oh, that's a Mega you brought.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about an iPhone.
No, I don't even know if the thing had service when they brought it in. Well, I mean, I don't see what all they could have done to it wrong. They just ripped the antenna cable. And I ordered one to replace it. Can you just solder one of those?
The cable?
It's rough.
Is there ground around there or just?
There's ground on the outside.
Oh,
And then the center one has a signal.
really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh. And you can't touch those two.
Huh?
You can't touch those two. Can you?
No.
No.
If they touch them, yeah.
You have no signal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably the problem. With it. Well,
Okay.
anyhow, I got Samsung Mega if anyone wants to buy one. Just needs an antenna cable. Yeah, because they ripped it. I was trying to solder it. I didn't think about that. Because I didn't see any ground, but I guess it's just so tiny. I didn't look under a scope.
It's hard to do those.
Yeah, because I ordered one for it, and the fucker was too short. Again, so then I just spliced it, thinking that there was only one wire. And then I was just like, alright, I couldn't deal with her calling every day, so I just got on eBay and bought a refurbished one for like $140.
Well, no, you just gotta order you a cable.
Yeah. And then, well, she tried to tell me she was gonna keep the old one too. I was like, no, if I'm buying you a replacement, I kind of want to keep the old part.
To recoup some of my loss.
Yeah. She's like, no, you messed up, not me. But really, it's her who messed up the whole time. She ripped the damn cable off the first time. Hello, assistant controller, voiceover on.
Well, I'll take a look at it, I guess.
Yeah, I thought I had a work shirt today at the shop, but I didn't. So I just wore this all day. Party cup, polar bear. And then I got this Note 3 that's doing the same thing. That has a little circle with a line going through it, but I don't think this thing is. Maybe I never put an internal wire back in it. Cause I saw it just laying there the other day.
It's usually important.
Yeah. Tense. I'll look at that one again.
Okay.
I think this could be our problem. I have a 6 Plus here. Touch ID.
That you brought with you?
No.
No.
It's in here.
Another one?
Black.
Is it in the back or something? What was wrong with it? Like,
Touch IC.
again, or?
No.
It's gotta be in the back then.
Alright, let me go see.
I just did. It's my personal phone. I bought it. I wasn't in a rush for it. The guy gave me like 3 phones for a 7 Plus repair.
Yeah.
Sweet deal. And he had all the iCloud to all of them.
Oh, that's
Like-
nice.
Yeah, like Christmas.
You got a busted screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Which that one I won't think too much on it, but it's better than nothing.
It's always better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to knock it out, I'll pay for it.
I think it's already done.
It's done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. That's nice. I was about to go buy this S8 Plus for $200 or S8. That's just cracked glass. What do you open?
I think that one there with the broken screen, well, I mean, obviously it needs a new screen, but I think the screen was having problems too on that one.
It had gray lines.
Yeah.
But you tried another screen to work fine.
Yes.
I want to pay for this one now, but I want to pick up this. Can you check if an IMEI is blacklisted?
Honestly, I don't know how accurate anything is anymore.
Yeah, I always put them in the Google, but those
Call.
things-
Who's the carrier?
AT&T, just call them.
I would call them and ask them, be like, I'm concerned that this phone is not any good. Is there any way I can find out before I tell them you're buying it or something?
Let me call them real quick.
Okay.
See if this is black. Because I've only got $200. I just put in a bunch of it. I don't even know if I want to buy this thing. Because then I just send it off to be repaired and wait a week.
Yeah.
Or even like 2. I sent off a S7 Edge. And it just went all the way from Texas to Cincinnati to Pennsylvania. And I don't know when it's ever going to get here. I guess they chose the worst shipping, USPS shipping service there is. $2 to ship a box or something.
Probably. Trying to save that money, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of got someone's phone. I think you would know that they want it faster.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do y'all think? $200, not a bad deal.
For what?
S8. Cracked glass.
That's not bad.
She says it's paid off. She sends me the IMEI. But she also says she needs the money to pay her electricity bill. That's what I can see.
Yeah. It's paid off, but she doesn't have money to pay her electricity bill.
Who buys a phone all out in cash anymore? Unless you're like, hey, Rab, $5,000 a month from your government.
Most likely parents, man.
Yeah. My dad buys all his phones out. I don't know why. He just likes it that way. Not to have that extra $30 piling up on his bill every month.
Yeah.
Shit's already high enough with AT&T. $400, $350 or something.
Change tips again. Keep a sharp tip on here.
Tell her if you still have it tomorrow. And that way I'll have time to check the IMEI.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, she's like, if someone wants it at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and they said if someone else wanted it before, then it'd be fine. I'm pretty sure it's been on Facebook for like 2 weeks, so I don't know if that's very accurate. She's just trying to get me to buy it.
She's gonna pay for the Touch IC
Yeah.
right now? Alright. Okay, cash.
Cash.
Good.
Everybody loves cash.
Oh crap.
Had an all cash day yesterday. I like it. The most fun day. Your credit cards, you bring down. Until the receipt prints out at the end of the day, then you get a little happy. But the cash days are nice.
Cash days are nice.
There you go.
Let's see, 64 gig about. Oh, the 64 gig, yes. It's Christmas again.
Mm-hmm.
The guessing game's always fun. 'Cause you gotta always pay for them like they're 16 gigs.
Yeah. 'Tis true.
So that way you're never out too much.
Nope.
Alright, these are these 5Cs. Just whenever on these, Chris, I just gave the guy $20 for it. Because I put my own screen on it, and it's a 5C. It doesn't
Okay.
read SIM cards, so it's not worth it. But I would love to get somebody a phone and me someone in my pocket.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, guys.
No
No
problem.
problem, man.
And I'm gonna try to fix the antenna on this one again. See if the antenna wire belongs. Y'all have a good night.
See ya.
Two.
Looks like there's a cut trace there. Right there. Trying to scrape as light as I can, but these lines, these trace lines inside the CPU are just so fine. Those two are cut too. Man, it's just ever so fine. I don't think that's going to be savable. Don't think it'll be savable. Let's see. Did I go? Yeah, I guess I just came down a layer too fast. There's a when you cut into the CPU, you gain access to the test points on top of the CPU substrate, which allows you access to jump the clock lines. Okay, so they're hitting one down here that doesn't exist. Well, at least it doesn't exist on mine anymore. There. Probe tips aren't fine enough to hit that pad. So we've got a cut trace there and 2 cut traces there, and then plus whatever else is fucking cut down here. Well, I'm just gonna give up on it. I don't think I can salvage it.
Did you go in too deep or something?
Yeah, just slightly. The traces on this layer are just so thin. If you cut too fast into them, it just destroys it. Yeah, have to give up on that one. Let's pull the NAND off tomorrow and throw theirs back on, call it what it is. A fucked board. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Alright, based on the time, it's almost time to go home. So, yeah, pretty much. It's about time to go home, so I'm going to probably end it at that. I will be on tomorrow. I'm sure there's more shit to do. Got some MacBooks and stuff. What's up, Paul? You're catching into the stream. More failure. So, note to anybody doing those. If you're cutting into that CPU, once you get to the solder ball layer, it seems that you need to just come to a really slow grind. It's literally seems to be one layer down from that, and that layer is extremely sensitive to scraping. Unlike on long screw damage, you can be a little aggressive with it. This one, not so much. These are much more sensitive than long screw. So I will see you all later. Thank you all for joining me, and have a good night. See ya.